Сьогодні в студії абсолютно максимально лінивий стрім. Зараз буде церемонія розподілення.
I need to study this locket as soon as I can, but first I must contact the ministry. They need to know what happened to George and be warned of Ranrock. For the moment, I ask that you keep all that's happened this evening between you and me.
Of course, sir.
Thank you. Ready for the sorting ceremony?
Ой, що це за хер з усами і бородкою?
Phineas, Nigellus, Black. Prepare yourself to meet the headmaster.
Директор.
Fig, nice of you to join us. The sorting ceremony's over.
There were complications.
Complications?
It seems the goblin problem has...
Enough. Goblins. I've no time for rumors, Fig.
Ой, який неприємний хер вообще.
If you're lucky, we might still be able to get you sorted this evening.
I'll be in touch.
У неї такий походон просто. Просто після генбенга.
Professor Weasley, we've one more to be sorted.
Welcome. You're just in time. Have a seat.
Я не розумію, про які це часи говорять. От це до Гаррі Поттера чи після Гаррі Поттера, непонятно. Я хочу в Слізерін.
Ah, yes. A bit older than the others, aren't you? You come here with preferences and preconceptions. Certain expectations.
Скорее бы начать учиться. Шляпа не то слово. Скорее бы исследовать
I'm looking
заново.
forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds.
Indeed. Much can be gleaned by having an adventurous spirit. But your
Я розумію,
professors have a
навчання це
great deal to teach you as
прикольно, але
well. I wonder. I detect something in you.
я поки покурю, якщо
A
ви не проти.
certain sense of... what is it?
Хитрожопость. А де хитрожопость? Отвага, любознательность.
A sense of adventure? I like to think that I'm not afraid of anything.
Oh, but you're brave at heart. Exceptionally daring. Undaunted by the unknown. Willing to forge ahead alone when you must. Perhaps
Gryffindor.
you belong in Gryffindor.
Ну от, да, отвага. А що, я люблю напіздюнькать. Взагалі, я хочу вибрати інший факультет. Я буду зміючкою.
I detect a growing sense of ambition, an eagerness for power.
Чудово. А чого це обов'язково про мене? Хитрожопость? Так, куди мені клацать? Я не бачу через... У каждого свой путь. Окей.
You belong in Slytherin!
Ух ти, зелене мені пасує. Гриффіндор це сосать.
Oh, and one more thing. Due to the unfortunate injury on the pitch in last spring's final, this year's Quidditch season has been cancelled. Enough! It's not as though I've banned flying altogether, but don't tempt me. You are here to focus on your academic futures. I'm sure you will have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow. I said, I'm sure you all have plenty to do before classes begin tomorrow.
Який вообще дуже неприємний чувак.
Quite an entrance. It's lovely to meet you. I'm...
Professor Weasley, would you be so kind as to show our new student to their common room?
I shall see to it, sir. As I was saying, I'm Professor Weasley. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Professor.
Я Таня
As deputy
Петренко.
headmistress, it is my
Дуже
distinct
приємно.
honor to show you to your common room. Right this way. It's quite uncommon for a student to begin as a fifth year. It may be a bit of a challenge, but one I'm sure you're up for.
I can be quite resourceful.
А Петренко тобі не знайоме
This
прізвище?
is the entrance to the Slytherin common room. In order to enter, one must simply speak the correct password. Aspiration.
Very well. Aspiration.
О, як красиво. Зміючка.
Well
Клас.
done. Now, go on in and get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you tomorrow. I shall be back in the morning to collect you for your first class.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoy your first night at Hogwarts. Sleep well.
Я не граю в ігру, я дивлюся анімований фільм. Про Хогвартс, цю всю штуку. О, я обожнюю такий малахітовий взагалі
Looks
колір.
like everyone's gone. Better head to the common room.
Взагалі тут симпатично. Ага, я поняла. О, вау. Я думаю, нам треба в своїй квартирі шмоток, як у мене. У мене немає що носити, я тобі скажу відверто. Немає що носити. І сумочки в мене немає. Привіт, а тут не можна ніяк познайомитись?
I suppose some introductions are in order.
О, можна познайомитись.
Already knew that. Can I help you? Ah, you're the new fifth year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin.
Це її новий
Not
хорь.
everyone has a ministry escort to school.
He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride.
Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right.
Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
Степан
Indeed.
Сау.
And how did you escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
What book were you reading?
A spellbook I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks.
Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones?
Seems I may have met a kindred spirit.
Oh,
That is a conversation for another
Степан
time. It was good
Савов.
meeting you. Good luck today.
Окей. Хто там ще в нас є?
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Так.
No London. Ugh, not going to move there, are you?
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Checkmate.
Told you.
Які в неї скули, хай Бог
You
миле.
should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
О, ти така хвостовлива.
We handled it, and I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling.
Ha, not the way I fly. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kagawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Are you a keen Wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one
Багато
else see
літають
it?
під грибами. Та ні, вона така, знаєш,
Goodbye, Imelda.
амбітна,
Nice
така
meeting you.
сучара просто. Ну, така прям, я б сказала, ну, підараска. От схоже в неї такий типаж.
I think I heard one.
О,
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
а,
I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route.
I'm sure. How horrible. I can only imagine. Well, it's good to have you in Slytherin. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here.
Ominous. Ominous. Йому не цікаві
Were you
русалки.
expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of
Ой,
Salazar
звісно, у
Slytherin,
них там всі
one of the
прямі
four
потомки
founders of
Салазара
Hogwarts.
Слізеріна.
Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you.
Едвард, по суті, ну, я не знаю, в нього такий примітивний типаж. Він схожий на
Unfortunately, most
всіх.
of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Не стесняйся, если что, малышка.
Is the new 5th year Slytherin in here? Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
Він просто цей, трошки косоокий. Трохи, і та й все. Боже, які тут красиві апартаменти. Я думаю, нам треба щось наподобі. А, це я звідси прийшла. Окей.
I fell off my broom.
Я сломала 6 костей. Подождите. Погодите. Зайти. А, ну я так розумію, кудись сюди. О,
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at
я не
Hogwarts.
знаю, ця гра це чисто походити, поспілкувати, знаєш, не нахамити.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something.
Ой, звісно, незвичайна,
extraordinary
вона
to
ж така
ensure your
незвичайна.
success. Here you are.
Правильно,
What is it?
половина
It is a wizard's
листків
field guide.
нахер.
It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to
Третє
take full
ОШБ
advantage of this
чекає на
exceptionally
неї.
valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way.
Погоди, тут сундучок є.
I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings.
І що? А? Ага.
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up. Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Ага. Понял.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Да, меню дуже круто зроблено, і апартаменти дуже круто зроблені. Я вже трошки задрала коментувати. Але це я просто буду з тобою спілкуватись. Це буде дуже лінивий стрім, дуже. Скільки в мене було ентузіазму на початку. Зараз, ну така, ну дятіна така, ну жесть. Немає ніякого екшону, нічого немає. Ходиш, ну, чорти що.
Good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Може бути. Ні, в God of War я грала, мені максимально не цікаво. І... Ну, не знаю. Чесно, мені не зайшло God of War. Так, що мені треба? Ага, я зрозуміла. Я можу таким чином переміщатись. Окей.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the
Мені
castle
набридла вже ця
quickly from Central
екскурсія.
Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross
Fast
station,
travel,
so to
yeah.
speak.
Work and travel.
That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing
Так
you
як
the
її могли
basics.
зачислити
He
на
did,
п'ятий
Professor.
курс, якщо
He's
вона
been
ніхіра не
terribly
знає?
vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to
Ця
have
ігра не
provided
про
our Amphithea with a
Хогвартс, а
solid
якісь
foundation in the
попіздюльки,
basics of
понімаєш?
spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I
Слава
rely on you,
Богу.
Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide.
Багато,
It will
давай
be
же шуруй.
invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain
Швидше,
more about those
пожалуйста, ну я не
assignments I
можу це
mentioned.
більше
And
терпіти.
we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And
Сенсі
she may feel
гучненько.
obliged to share details with the headmaster
Що,
that will
стріляють
be
чи
better
що?
left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally
блін.
skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you.
Ну
Speaking
йдіть, я
of
не знаю, в
guides,
коридор якийсь,
and
там,
so
де
that I
вікон
may avoid
немає.
another
Чи
not
таких
so
кімнат
subtle
немає.
proof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever
У нас
enchantment
тихо.
we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look. The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day
Я
ahead,
переживаю.
with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Добре, Зої. Ух ти, які красиві локації. Прям прикол, де сама наша кури, чи що? Ні, ну деталізація прям, ну, чудово. Чудова деталізація, чудова прорисовка. І голову посрали на двері. О! Саул.
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved
Я
me
думаю, в
from
неї
death at the
поперек
hands
так
of dark
болить, що
wizards
це
more
капець.
times than I care to remember.
Ой, бідна жінка.
Levioso. A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No?
Така жіночка, я думаю, їй масажів треба було робити. Солі розбивати.
Especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Так, Левіоса.
Levioso!
Слухай, от тебе, знаєш, хрен поймеш, що ти кажеш, що я матюкаюсь, як ото... Ой, а куди це я нажала? Ой, це погано. То ти кажеш, що я матюкаюсь, як сапожник, то ти кажеш сам такі неприлічні речі.
Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier.
Окей.
Now, the basic cast. Well done.
Окей.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel using only
Я норм, да.
Basic cast and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy. Protego. Complicates things. Good form.
I know.
Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it.
This can't be your first duel.
What's the thing?
Only all of my students were this adept.
I do.
Joy in life is duel. Try to anticipate your opponent's next move.
Є! Пизда
Not
тебе чу.
bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can
Тепер
expect
він,
great
слухай,
things
так
from
він
you.
просто і не був другом. Він такий самопевнений, самопевнений, пихатий Вузервіль.
A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments.
Вона вже сражалась з такими...
That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite
Вона на
something.
нього запала.
Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a
Перше
secret
правило
dueling
клубу
club
Альцгеймера.
or sneaking into the restricted section of the library.
Перше правило
You
клубу
just have to
Альцгеймера.
be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian.
все
I'll
робимо.
keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance.
Коротше, я
If you're
завершила
interested.
трансляцію, бо це якийсь дебілізм.